Today on the channel, we'll be unboxing the evil seeker of immortality. Here on... Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Newman, and today we'll be unboxing Geldor from Mattel's Masters of the Universe Origins line. This 1/12 scale figure measures 6 inches in height. It's made of plastic. It features 16 barbaric points of articulation, contains retro style packaging. It comes with a shield, an axe, an axe, an axe, and a mini comic. Now, I bought my figure directly from Mattelcreations, because that's the only place you could buy it from. We're heading towards the finish line for these Origins figures, and Mattelcreations are going to be one of the few places that we can still get them. Luckily, for the most part, they have not been selling out as quickly as the beginning of the line. I'm looking in your direction, Geldor. Now, this figure, Geldor, is an interesting one. I keep wanting to call him either Geldor or Geldor. For better or for worse, a lot of these Motu characters have the same kind of name. Now, this will be my first Geldor figure, as I never collected the classics, and he was never in the original 1980s line, which I do have quite a few figures of somewhere in my parents' basement. Now, before we actually open this thing up completely, let's take a moment to appreciate the packaging. It's got that nice collector-friendly packaging, so you can take this figure out and put it right back in the packaging if you're an in-box collector. Look at that. There's some beautiful artwork on the back of it. It doesn't have the traditional card back backing with the other figures in the line because, you know, this is a Mattelcreations exclusive. So yeah, look at that. Very nice. Very shiny. Very shiny. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and get this thing out of the package. Here we've got the mini comic, Plague of the Immortal. Alright, very cool. Let's go ahead and take this out. Just going to flip through a couple of the pages. I got a stack of these things, and I'll get to read them at some point. And here we go. Here's the figure. We've got some twisty ties on here, but I cut them off screen. And here we go. Here's the figure in hand. Looks pretty good. That head sculpt is actually really good. You can see the whites of his pupils, which is typically uncommon for the Motu Origins figures. They typically just have the dot for a pupil. So let's go ahead and go over the articulation. So head goes all the way around. You can get some good angles in there. There's a ball joint in there. Arms go up to about there. There is a single joint at the elbow. That's good. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and check out the left arm. It's good as well. Yeah, it's still pretty good. Alright, let's go ahead and test the wrist. Wrist goes all the way around. There's a hinge joint in there. Let's try the other one. Also very good. Good range of movement. Alright, very nice. We've got a waist twist. As this is a modular figure, a lot of these pieces come off. Legs go up to about there. That's actually pretty good range of movement. Let's check out the single jointed knees, which are both pretty good. Yep, both are pretty good. And there's also a pretty good articulation in the ankles, which for whatever reason, I forgot to test. But trust me, they're there. Alright, let's move on to his accessories, and he's got quite a bit. So we've got axe number 1, which is all one color, one silver flat color, which is, you know, it's fine. It's Origins. We got another axe, which, this is an interesting one. It's not my favorite. I'm not big on the design, but, you know, it's alright. It's alright. It's okay. And we've got this last axe, which I'm pretty sure was Geldor's axe. The other two axes are probably reuses as well. And here we've got a shield. It looks pretty much just like He-Man's without the red paint. But I gotta say, this feels a little thinner than Origins He-Man shield for whatever reason. Now, I am not super familiar with this character, and I don't have a lot of nostalgia for him. The one thing I do know is that he originally appeared in a mini-comic illustrated by Larry Houston, famously known for being a storyboard artist, producer, and director on X-Men the Animated Series. But, you know, back to this figure at hand. Now, look at these straps right here. I love these straps. Now, I've gone on record as saying I'm not a big fan of the straps for Motu figures. Once you take them off, it's impossible to get back on. But these straps, the new Merman from Masterverse has them as well, but these straps are a lot easier to get on. So this is fantastic. Looks like we've got some new shits. I don't know if this is a reuse from another character. So this looks a little awkward to me. The feet don't quite match the color of the gauntlets. I guess that's okay though. I guess it looks like they're using two types of red in here, so I guess they don't really have to match. Also, it looks like his loincloth is a reuse of Skeletors from the cartoon collection, because it's just the three prongs. There's no clip at the back. It's just one solid piece. So in order to take it off, you would have to disassemble this character from his torso. But here we go with his axes. This character has axes for days, and you know what? I'm here for it. I'm glad this weapons pack came with the figure. So let's try to get this shield on here, and so what you're gonna see here is you're gonna see me struggle. Now, in most cases, when a character has a shield, they usually have a relaxed hand. Now, this character only comes with two gripping hands, and the part where you're supposed to slip the relaxed hand into and then clip the other part onto the forearm, let me tell you, it's actually a little difficult. It's definitely not impossible, but I was not expecting to struggle just to get his shield on. But that gripping hand makes it a little difficult, but you can get there. It's eventually you can get there once you realize why you're struggling. So there you have it. Here he is with his second set of weapons. Looks good. Looks pretty good. I gotta say, the head sculpt, it looks like the dad from American Chopper. I mean, it's just not me, right? Like, I mean, everybody else can see it, right? Or better yet, Sean Connery from Zardoz. Woo, I'm showing my age here. I'm so. It's not just me, is it? This figure is just. It's just some dumb fun. It's fantastic. But the biggest thing I want to say about this figure is that it gave me weapons. It gave me extra weapons so that I can finally give weapons to Too Bad. That was my biggest complaint about this figure. You can see the review, link above. But this was my biggest complaint. There was no weapons. It was just, that mirror. The mirror was fine, but, I wanted some weapons. So instead of a weapons pack, is Mattel just going to load up weapons for the remaining Origins figures or Cartoon Collection figures? Well, no, it's going to be the Origins figures. But I don't know. I mean, again, I don't have the classics Geldor, so he may have had all of those axes with him. I guess I could look it up, but nah, I'm not going to. I'm just going to revel in my ignorance. Now, just one last thing. I was curious to see if this axe could fit in that holster in the back. It looks like it can. I'm not too worried about the other axes. They have small handles, but that one I was worried about. So that's fantastic. That's great. All in all, a wonderfully dumb figure that I am so happy that I bought. Okay, final thoughts. All in all, I really like this figure. It's dumb. It's silly. It looks like a mashup of an action hero from the 80s and some sort of fantasy line. Like, it's like something that you would see. It's like Chuck Norris or like Mr. T or Sylvester Stallone, and they got their own action figure. But they didn't really care. They just let the designers do anything, and then the designers didn't really care either. So they just came up with this generic thing that had the face sculpt of the action hero. Trust me, I'm not bashing it. I do like this thing. And, if you like silly things, you should go out and get it too. It's still on mattelcreations, because I guess a lot of other people have higher standards. But, the best thing about this figure is really all the weapons you get. And let me tell you, I'm definitely leaving those two axes with my Too Bad figure. So, yay for me. Alright folks, that's going to pretty much wrap everything up. I am Rip It Open at Newman on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, all the socials. Come out and find me. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, hit the bell for notifications, and I will check you later.